Okay, so here's a quick video about what to do if you have a carrier package unit and you're installing a carrier outside. You're replacing a carrier and you're running into the issue of your ducts. Your ducts are that are on the carrier are vertical like this, and they're square. They're vertical. There's two of them, and they're really far spaced out, and they're both like this, and they're both solid piped in with fiberglass on the inside of the metal, and it's all just metal, and there's a metal backing on there which is cut out, and it all fits perfectly in there. If you're having this type of install and you're trying to install a train or any other type of system in there, this is the way to fix it without having to go and buy any extra squared rounds or any other type of converter or anything. What you're gonna want to do is real simple. Where you have the squares like this, here's the square pipes that you have, and they're both spaced out, pretty far apart. What you want to do is cut on the edges, around the very edges, all the way back towards the inside, towards the metal wall that you see in there, the sheet metal wall. You want to cut your seams all the way back, all the way down, as pretty far as you can, all the way down. And you want to cut all four seams, all four sides of each square. And then once you do that, you'll be able to pry it open. And what you want to do is pry the inside open, the inside where you need to close the gap to open it, make it wider so it fits. And you want to pry the inside of each one open. You want to have both of them cut. And what you want to do is, once you pry it open, you want to go ahead and cut off about 1.5 inches or 2 inches as a strip around the top of each square. The top of it, the top and the bottom, about 1.5 inches, just a little bit, enough to where you can get your side flap edges to finally flap over and make a connection with the actual unit, so you can put a screw in there. So what you're going to do is cut the top and the bottom, so this way this will slide in, and then you cut the other side too. So you're cutting all three sides of it except for the flap that's going inwards. So this is going to bring it closer to the wall. But if that's what you have to do to make it work, it's not terrible, as long as it's not too close. As long as your box isn't too close where you're like 5 inches or closer. If you're closer than 5 inches, it's not going to work. You need to be able to have a hood at least a foot. But you could sometimes go lower, but it depends on where you're at or whatever you got going on with the state. And if you're doing, installs for residential, if you're doing commercial, if you're doing stuff that's going to be on the market, that's a brand new housing, which can have all sorts of code and inspections and all sorts of things. So it's up to you, to whoever's doing this. But this is mostly for people who are just doing installs in people's properties who are going to be living there for a long time, and no one's going to mess with it. So real simple. You just cut it out, and that way you're able to open it up. And once you do this, you screw it in on the inside, like I said, and
you don't want him in?
Yeah, and then once you screw it in on the inside, then it goes back over to you get some mastic tape. You want to get the mastic tape, or what do you call it? Well, after you've gotten it all screwed in, because you're going to be able to screw all this in now. Once you got the main screws in, you can put the side screws in, and the metal ducting will be attached to the unit, except you'll have big air gaps in it. You need to fill in with tape and mastic and sheet metal. If you want to use sheet metal, you can. It's not going to ever be touched. No one's ever going to touch it, so you can do pretty much whatever you want. So what you want to do is make sure that you just put something in there to where it's not going to have any issue, and then you want to make sure you use mastic, and just mastic the shit when you're done, so the tape doesn't unfold and everything holds, and it's no issue. And just make sure you don't have any air leaks. No air leaks on there. And if you did it the way I told you to do it, where you've cut all if each square duct that's in there is solid duct, you cut off all the corners. Each corners, all 4 of them, at each one. There's 2 of these, and then you cut it all the way back as deep as you can, to where you can get the inside flap, the flap open a good amount. And you cut off about 1.5 to 2 inches, however much you need. For just take off a little bit at a time and keep doing it till you get it to where both of them line up good, and take all the top flap, the bottom flap, and this other side flap off until you can get a nice flush mount on there. Once you get a nice flush mount, you can pretty much just leave that or just tape it right up, because you already have screws attaching to it. You could attach the bottom and then tape it up with mastic tape or foil tape, and then mastic. I use mastic tape and mastic just because it's better. I don't know, holds stronger. The mastic tape is flexible and won't break, can't bend in, and then the mastic double reinforces it. So it's just all around better. But yeah, and then you fill in the areas with just some the areas that you have. You can actually even fold it over. You'll see at this point you can kind of fold it. Which if you're looking at this right now, then you can see that you can probably fold it over, and then you tape it all up perfectly, to where there's no air leaks anywhere. And if you're good at taping, you know how to do that by now. And you mastic it after you're all done, and boom. Make sure there's no fiberglass flapping on the inside because you cut it. So you want to make sure that you secure your fiberglass back down so it doesn't flap up when the air blows in there. And then yeah, it's good to go. And then you can make a hood for it. I suggest a simple hood. I mean, make it as easy as possible. Get sheet metal. You need sheet metal cutters. You need sheet metal benders. You should make Z joints with sheet metal. You just cut out 3-inch wide pieces of sheet metal, about however long you need for the length of your hood, and then you just bend it into a Z shape and work it until you get it into a shape of a Z. Run a screwdriver down the inside. I'll make a video about that later. How you can make your own Z joints with the sheet metal that you buy for the hood. So you don't ever need to buy any joints. You just make it on site. It's just easier and, you know, cost effective, and I don't know, just seems like the right thing to do. You can make them custom the size you need. But that's pretty much about it. And then the rest of it, once you got the hood made, the hood usually on this setup is going to be a smaller size hood, so you don't want to have angled flat pieces if you don't need them. You want to just have a straight flat piece of metal for the top, all the way to the full diameter with down flaps bent into it with your sheet metal benders, and then at an angle. You know, so here's, pretend on the unit, and to be like this, and just barely down under the coils is where you want to hook it up. Make sure you're not, you know, putting it in a stupid spot, but then tuck it up under the house so it goes under the shingles, so it's under it like that, you know. And then when you got it all together and you make this downside pieces, this, you know, with method, make sure you cut out any little corner you need to cut out to make it fit, and then you go back in with silicone and silicone everything up. And when you make your Z joints, you know, Z joints, you have you have grooves that your metal can go into. So when you put the sides on, you have your Z joints in there, and it's much easier to mount it. So when you put a screw through the side of it and make it one solid piece, then it's much easier to get a screw to go through, and it gives it more rigidity on those joints, because that's what you need, because otherwise it's not going to work very good. So it's kind of necessary. But you do that, and then you silicone it all up. Yep. Just get a couple tubes of silicone and put silicone all the way around. Make sure you get everything sealed up perfectly, and you're good to go. Make sure you have seal up check for any air leaks around the unit, because sometimes you get a new unit, you have ear leaks around seals and stuff. If you do, then just silicone it up. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. Well, that's pretty much the hard parts behind doing the package unit. So if you have this particular type of package unit carrier, and you're putting in a train, putting in a Goodman, you're putting in whatever you're putting in, okay, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you do this method, because this method works, and most of the time it doesn't put it too close to the house. I mean, if you got less than 5 inches of space, you're gonna have a problem. Less than 6 inches of space, you really want to have 7 or 8. But if it goes any closer than that, then it's a problem. But most of the time, it's not that close, and it can have plenty of breathability. You know. So pretty much, it's just gonna be a lot easier for you if you do it this way, than having to go buy fucking squared rounds and try to, insulate that, and then you gotta fucking put that on there. That makes it stick out. And one that I just recently did, if we were to make it stick out too much more than like it would with squared rounds, you could add another 16 inches of it sticking out, whatever size it is naturally, so it'd be even longer. If you weren't using squared rounds, I mean, you could always go back and cut it and then put it up back here, but if you're using that, then you'd have to fucking extend the pad out. And I did one where it was on a major fucking slope all the way down, like probably like that degree. So we had to, when we put the new pad on, we had to put a mountain of dirt in, digging up, scraping off the front side to put it on the back side. And if that's your issue, then that's what you want to do. That's the easiest way to get around it. So you can fuck with it all day, or you can do it this way and be done with it. And the more time that you sit there and think about it, the longer you're going to be there. And if you're looking at this video, you're probably going to be invested multiple days at this point, unless you're looking at this beforehand, which I hope you're doing. So you'll be able to get there and do the right thing, and not have to spend multiple days on a job where you're only getting paid a certain amount per job. So if you're going to do this, that's what you need to do. If you run into a package unit that is a carrier and has the 2 vertical square boxes on them, and they're both spaced out far, and you need 2 horizontal square boxes at the bottom. Okay, this is the video for you. So that's it. All right, that was all the details I could think of for you. I love you all, and I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors. And if you like this video, you could subscribe, because there will be more videos. I'm going to do more stuff about AC. I have a broad spectrum of things that I do videos about. If you would like to, you could leave a comment. I don't know how the fuck you leave a comment. I don't know how that happens, because people say leave a comment, and I'm unable to leave a comment on people's shit. So I don't know how the hell that even works. But if by some mystical fucking way you're able to leave a comment on here, there you go. You found out the secret to the fucking universe. Alright, well, I love you all, and take it easy, and try to get it done as quick as possible, because time is money in the game, okay? Quick as possible. Vote for Andrew Yang. Get everyone $1,000. Let's get more people wanting to get their new AC installs. Let's give people more money. Let's get the money flowing here. Let's make the system good. And good thing I'm in, and you are in, a business where automation cannot attack you. So we both got it good. We all got it good. We're doing AC work. Robot can never crawl up into a fucking attic, lifting a unit up through there and doing all sorts of crazy shit. It probably could. It will. But we'll be the last ones to have our jobs taken. So let's let the money roll, because we'll be making it back, because we know what we're doing, right? That's a little video for you. Secret to the trade. Secret to what you got to do if you have a double vertical carrier package unit and you want to go to horizontal bottom squares. So that's how you do it. Plain and simple. I love you all. Have a wonderful day, wonderful life, wonderful adventure. Enjoy it. Bye.